Thank you very much for waiting. Now we'd like to move to the closing ceremony. On behalf of the organizer, we'd like to invite Mr. Hiroshi Inoue, the Vice Chairman of the conference organizing committee. Thank you very much. So I appreciate Ishihara-san to give me the kind of pressure to be a speaker at a closing ceremony. But there's another reason that felt a bit different from usual today. Well, Matsudasan is here today. Well, personally, I consider him as closing friend. At the session, I think when he gave a talk, I felt it was like a closing session at Ruby Kaigi. So it was a kind of pressure for me. But this time, we have 273 viewership online. So I hope you had a chance to look at the archive later as well, because it happened last year as well. The quite large number of people viewed the archive online. So thank you very much for your participation, the viewing this, or the joining this meeting so far. And also, Matsumoto-san's poem. Well, this is the 13th poem he wrote. Thank you very much. And the last part I'd like to say, Ruby's ecosystem. Well, this conference is to support the ecosystem. So how Ruby Kaigi can face the world, face the future. The future is not something we wait for. The future is something we create. That's how Ruby community is working. So let's join us and let's create a future together. Welcome to the new world. Let's expand this new world together. So that's the message of Matsumoto-san. I think that was exactly how this conference and they shared our thoughts. And again, I appreciate all the supporting organizers, supporting organizations. Thank you very much for your help. And also the advisors to the organizing committee, the Governor Maruyama and Mayor Uesada, and also the president of Shimane University, Hattori-san, and also the Kosen from Oto-san and Aoki-san. And thank you very much for your support. And the members of the organizing committees. So these are the members of the organizing committee. And these are the members of the program committee. We received the application of the programs, and then this committee members discussed that and then decided on who should be the speaker for this year. Again, thank you very much for your hard work. And the special sponsor, Shimane Prefecture and Matsuya City. Again, thank you very much for your support. And also sponsor companies, platinum sponsors. So these are our platinum sponsors. Thank you very much. And gold sponsors. Again, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support. And silver sponsors. Again, thank you very much. So 2 special sponsors and 14 special platinum and 14 for gold. And silver sponsor 24 silver sponsors, altogether 60 sponsor company. So as you see on the screen, they supported us very, very much. Thank you. And as for the secretariat, again, Ichibata Denki Tetsudo, thank you very much for your work. Thank you very much for your support. And the working group members. Well, now it's a bit difficult to meet together face to face. So working group had to be online as well. Thank you very much for your support. And Ichibata-san from Secretariat. So thank you very much for your support and hard work. In a Simon International, well, this time we had the simultaneous translation service remotely. Thank you. And NTT Prada ACO. And again, thank you very much for your support for visual and audio. And the visual, very good. Thank you. And Far End Technology, to your view, thank you very much. And opening ceremony, as introduced, we were happy to be joined by the governor, Shimane governor, and also prefecture governor and Matsue city mayor. And also we had Vision, Value, Victory, the keynote presentation by Matsudasan. So about the victory is to deliver the value. And then just before giving this talk, he fixed the bugs, as he said. So it was his victory. Thank you very much. And then Ruby Prize 2021, Maxim-san, Hok-san, and Hasumi-san, congratulations. And then Maxim Chevalier Boiveld-san, YJIT, be part of 3.1. Wonderful contribution and the winner of Ruby Prize 2021. Congratulations. And then Ruby Biz Grand Prix 2021. The winner, two winners, Hiki-san and Yamap-san. Hiki-san for virtual world and Yamap-san for outdoor life, safe outdoor activities. So it seems that the new world we can see now thanks to Ruby. So wonderful presentations by these two members and also speakers. So I'd like to introduce the speakers one by one. Hayashi-san, Takeuchi-san from Wakayo. Wakayo? We understand is the dialogue, meaning, do you understand Wakayo? It's how we, the local members, talk, and this measure the levels of CO2 concentration. And if you're going to do outdoor camp in winter, you may have the stove, and if you use Wakayo, you enjoy yourself more safely. And then we had Okura-san's presentation on control methods like Pro. And then we had presentation by Sugiyama-san and Okuda-san. Well, he joined us during a question and answer session. They developed a system for manufacturing company using small Ruby, so that even if you do not have any experience programming, you can build a program. So they introduced Shinrai. So small Ruby's potential was demonstrated by their presentation. And then Noro-san, he talked about Africa, and he's always a very passionate person. So I think that he went to Africa, which is quite warm, I think. So perhaps he became even hotter than before. So I think the achievement was possible because of Nora-san. Thank you very much. And then Yasukawa-san gave the presentation on Rails tutorial. He is a regular speaker. He always introduces the Rails tutorial. But it seems that every time we hear we see the advancement. He's expanding the ecosystem, Ruby's engineers. So it's always quite exciting to listen to him. Thank you very much. And then we had Kawasaki-san's presentation on souls. So the tutorial, I felt almost dizzy. So I was looking at the monitor, and Matsumoto-san, and he often talked about the spirit of nothingness when he talked about Ruby. I think it was one example that Ruby achieved something beyond the regular thinking. So that was a great potential demonstrated by souls. And then Ogawa-san talked about upgrading Rails version. He overcame quite a big challenge. And his perseverance and the leadership to overcome that difficulty was really wonderful. And I also thought Ruby's community can attract someone like him. And that's another wonderful aspect of Ruby. So I think there was a question about the current situation of IT industry. Yes, indeed, there are some the difficult situations, but there are many people who love Ruby, and also the companies where people who love Ruby work. I think they can create a wonderful service. So I listen to the great potential and doubling the version of Rails. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for your hard work as well. And then Iyo-san, again, he is the regular speaker too, sharing his talk about the education. But this was the first time I learned that he didn't like Python. So that was a quite interesting comment for Ruby's conference. And lastly, we had a keynote presentation by Matsudasan. Thank you very much. Ruby friends. He acquired many friends. And he had a conversation with Audrey Tan-san. So perhaps we can, so he may say Audrey-kun. So if that's the case, he achieved at a very high position of the hierarchy. And I also wonder how Zach was doing. Yes, everybody loves him. So Matsuda-san, thank you very much. And then questions and answer session. Matsuda-san, Matsumoto-san, Maeda-san, very interesting, and thank you very much. And then lastly, again, this time Ishihara-san was a moderator. Thank you very much. Again, we hope that you join us next year as well, together with Matsumoto-san. So it's almost the time to close the closing session. But this year, we have a special plan. And after this, we're going to have online reception. So I'd like you to join us in this reception as well. We'll wait for you. So that's all for the closing session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that was Inoue-san, Deputy Chairman of Organizing Committee. This concludes all the program of RubyWorld Conference 2021. This year's conference was held online like we did last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So RubyWorld Conference Organizing Committee wishes that COVID-19 pandemic will be over as soon as possible, and also the business application of Ruby would expand. And also next year, we hope to see you in Shimane Prefecture next year in the city of Matsue. We do hope that this conference will help you expand your business application of Ruby. This concludes the Ruby World Conference 2021 conference itself. But as mentioned, from 7:30 p.m. Japan time, we have online reception. It's free of charge, so please join us on the online reception. And URL is available on official site and Twitter and Facebook. Again, thank you very much for joining us on the web. Thank you very much, and let's see you face to face next year. Thank you very much.